Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the mdlove show. This episode is actually inspired by you. I recently shared a poll asking what topic you'd like me to talk about next, and this one won. So today's episode is based on your choice, and honestly, it's one of my favorite topics to talk about: Michael Jackson's creative process. Because Michael Jackson didn't just create songs, dances, or films, he created worlds. And what fascinates me the most about his creative process is that everything started in the same place: imagination, love, and this deep desire to give people something they had never seen, heard, or felt before. Michael used to say that ideas came to him fully formed: melodies, rhythms, visuals, all at once. He didn't sit at a piano writing notes the traditional way. He heard music in his head, entire arrangements. He would beatbox every sound, every instrument, every layer, and then guide musicians and producers to recreate what already existed in his mind. That alone tells you how different his brain worked. But it wasn't just about sounding good. Michael cared deeply about how music felt. He wanted you to feel joy, pain, hope, unity, magic. Songs like Billie Jean, Earth Song, Man in the Mirror, these weren't accidental hits. They were intentional experiences. He obsessed over details because he believed detail were what made people feel something real. And then there's dance. Michael didn't dance just to impress. He danced to communicate. Every move had emotion behind it. The moonwalk wasn't just a trick, it was storytelling. Smooth Criminal wasn't just choreography, it was character, drama, cinema on stage. He studied old Hollywood dancers, street dancers, classical movement, and then blended it all into something completely new. That's what he always did. He observed the world and then transformed it. Michael also understood that music didn't have to stop at sound. That's why he changed the entire concept of music videos. Before him, videos were promotional. After him, they were events. Thriller wasn't a video, it was a short horror film. Bad wasn't just a song, it was a statement. Remember the first time you watched them? That feeling? That's intentional magic. And Moonwalker is such a perfect example of how his mind worked. It wasn't a normal movie. It didn't follow rules. It was fantasy, symbolism, music, heroism, and childlike imagination, all blended together. Michael wasn't trying to fit into Hollywood. He was building his own universe. He did the same with his books. His autobiography, Moonwalk, wasn't just about fame. It was about exposure, dreams, and pressure. And Dancing the Dream? That book is poetry, thoughts, reflections, spiritual creativity. It shows you how deeply he felt everything. Michael wasn't creating for attention. He was creating because he had to. It was who he was. What makes all of this even more special is how much love was involved. People who worked with him always talk about how excited he was, like a kid. He loved creating. He loved rehearsals. He loved imagining what the audience would feel. Yes, he worked incredibly hard, but it came from passion, not ego. Michael didn't think like a manager or a businessman first. He thought like a dreamer, like a classic showman. Someone who believed entertainment could heal, unite, and lift people up. That's why his concerts felt almost spiritual. That's why people cried just seeing him stand still on stage. He understood impact. And maybe that's his greatest accomplishment. Not the records, not the awards, not even the fame, but the fact that decades later we're still studying how he created, still inspired by his joy, his magic, and his courage to be different. Michael Jackson showed us that when creativity is driven by love, imagination, and sincerity, it becomes timeless. And that's why his work doesn't age. It lives.